he was dead to come on his mum's pillow. And he's like, alright, and then goes upstairs to do it.
He actually did.
And then drains the water.
You drain the flavour out.
Then you're draining all the flavour out.
But it doesn't. But it doesn't. Shut the fuck up. No, it doesn't, because there's still flavoring in it, in the noodles.
Yeah,
It doesn't. No, it doesn't. This
You don't
this
drain all of it
conversation's
out, you
over.
drain
This conversation's over.
Man, just be aware that the last time you drunk Fireball on camera, you fucking like almost died on screen. And we
Oh
had to watch
yeah, I
you
did.
asleep.
That was a terrible time. Would you
What
like
the
to
hell
tell
was
that
that?
story? Would you like?
Remember we watched Liam asleep and he's just lying there like that? Like an hour?
I wasn't asleep.
Oh.
I was
What are we-
fully
what-
conscious.
What
Would
are
you
we
like to?
talking about?
Would you like to tell the
like
story,
the-
Reese?
I don't remember too much. I think maybe I'll jog the memory of Taylor, who might be able to add some more. Sam, I feel like you were there. Maybe you weren't. Maybe it was Kyle.
I don't
Was it
think
like a-
Sam was there. Yeah, I think it was Kyle.
What the hell are you
It was
talking
in like
about?
the second or third week of lockdown, and we
This
decided
lockdown
to
or last one?
This one.
Lockdown.
This one.
and we decided to all have a drink while playing. I think it was Phasmophobia,
Yep.
Yeah,
and
I remember that.
we're all drinking. We're all getting pretty smashed.
Uh-huh.
And Liam's having his Fireball shots, and it was a bottle pretty much full.
It's the same bottle.
At the end of the night, the bottle was essentially like he had like only that much left in the bottle, and he was off his absolute head. You don't remember this, T?
Well, I mean, like, I got pretty intoxicated by the end of it too.
That's probably why you don't remember. I just remember looking at Liam, and he was just completely fucking done. Like he was out cold, and he passed out on
What?
camera in front of the camera, leaning on
No,
his desk. Like
I
that.
wasn't passed out.
Well,
I don't
you
remember
weren't,
that.
You weren't speaking. You weren't.
I don't
acknowledging
think you were
anyone.
here at the time.
Quiet.
I don't think you were there at the time, Taylor.
What do you mean? How early or late was this?
It was towards the end of the night.
I swear I was there until the end of it though.
I just never forget Liam being passed out because I remember sending pictures to people, being like, "This dude's dead."
Because I was like this, and I had my hoodie up. And I was like that the whole time, and just apparently I could hear everything, but I was just concentrating on not like throwing up or being sick or anything. And apparently we were playing Phasmophobia, and Kyle was telling me, you know, all the information, all the evidence, and what ghost it was. And like just before Kyle was like, "Oh, it's this ghost," I was like, I'll see you later, guys," and I just left.
He just left. Yeah.
And I stood up, couldn't walk straight for the life of me. I somehow managed to get to the bathroom, which is just across the hall. It was such a fucking hike, and I just kneeled down in front of the toilet for a while and just threw up.
Shit.
And
Also reminds me of the time that we're all over Liam's house. When was this, by the way?
yeah,
If
that
you
was the
remember?
Halloween
Was
party.
it Liam's 21st or Halloween?
I think it was a Halloween party.
What, last Halloween?
No,
Mm.
before.
No, no, it can't be. I swear it was more recent, like this year.
No, I think you just feel like it.
I
mean,
think it was just. I think it was before I started working at Mac.
are we talking Liam in the mop bucket?
Yeah.
I'm
what
talking
other
about
instrument would
Liam
there
and
be?
coming back to it later, like Jesus, resurrected.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was a year or two ago, T.
Was it?
Yeah, that was a while ago.
That was Sam. Obviously, you weren't there because you're in a different state. But Liam at his own house got absolutely fucked, and this is now a photo of Liam, who's knocked out over the bucket. You have to add. I'll send you the photo as well. But he just got absolutely fucked, and everyone thought this man's dead. Like he's gone. We had to help this guy go upstairs, and we put him to bed.
Four people had to carry me. There was
4 people.
one person on each arm and one person on each leg, and I was carried up the stairs. I live in a 2-story
100%.
house.
And he was put to bed. Everything's fine. And then I had to go home. But then, like 2 hours later, and everyone else is just there, just chatting along, just having a jolly old time.
It wasn't even that, Taylor. After I went upstairs, it was honestly like 10 minutes before I came back.
Wow. 10 minutes. And then everyone's just chatting downstairs, and then fucking Liam walks downstairs like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, I had
It's just
a
like, "Hey,
blanket
guys."
over my shoulders, and I word for word said, "You can't get rid of me that easily."
And everyone's like, what the fuck?
I remember taking a selfie of the moment just to enjoy it, of Liam standing there with his like blanket wrapped around him, and everyone just sitting
Yeah.
around him like, "This
Yeah.
dude's alive."
I'll put it in editing.
I love
Yeah,
how
we'll
Liam,
put
like,
the photo in.
we put Liam to bed, and nobody left. Everyone just stayed downstairs partying. Like no one cared that the
Oh,
host of the party
I
was
left,
get
but
upstairs. Oh, did you?
Pretty sure I had work or something.
Yeah. But like
Uh,
everyone just continued drinking, like there was nothing that was going to stop us from leaving.
I'm having a good time.
Thanks,
And then
Liam.
Liam came down
I do
from
wonder
bed.
how long it would have taken for people to leave if I had have actually passed out.
Yeah,
And
they
everyone was
died.
just left to their own devices in my own house.
Were your parents in the house at this time?
Maybe? Yes, because I think when I was throwing up, my mum heard and she came downstairs and she was very disappointed.
Yeah, I remember she was
Oh.
awfully concerned over your well-being, and we're just like, he's all right, he's dying, but it's fine.
He's
Love
done it
Mama.
before.
I love my mum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's had some, wild days back in her time, I'm sure. There's nothing to be disappointed about.
No, my
It's
mum
just your turn.
doesn't really drink. No, she's never really done anything like that.
It's like she hasn't had like a wild 20s.
No, I don't think so. Like my parents,
Come on.
like, yeah, my parents met in high school and they've just been together ever since. They never really did anything crazy. Well, my dad did. My dad's done crazy shit when he was a teenager.
I mean, we're talking about the fucking 90s right here. I mean, like, oh,
No, it would have been 80s. My oldest brother was born in 93.
well, how old were your parents when they had you?
It was 98. My mum's 51 now.
Would have been young.
Yeah.
Well,
My
cheers
parents
to
are
Tanya
considered my
for-
parents are considered young.
Cheers to Tanya for not getting
Yeah.
smashed.
Cheers to my
Yeah.
mum.
Cheers.
Tell us your stories. Come on the podcast, please.
Yeah.
Honestly, it could be kind of cool to get my parents on.
And we'll tell you about that one time. Was Liam really on drugs?
Oh, fucking...
As I throw
Sam-
back to that one time.
Yeah, Sam, there's a
You
story. I
tell
was working at a really shady bar in the city, and I got... My best friend at this job got me absolutely smashed. We finished work, and because this place was so shady, we would have free drinks afterwards, and my best friend at this work, he was going to become a manager, right? And so he got me a free drink, and then he just kept, piling on drink after drink after drink after drink. It's like 3 in the morning.
Damn.
And he's got mates there that don't work there, and they left, and so they had drinks that they hadn't finished, and they were like double vodka pineapple shot, double vodka pineapple drinks. They were drinking them, they hadn't finished them, but they left, so I had them. And by the end of the night, I think it probably is the most drunk I have ever been. Apparently, him and I got an Uber back to where I was staying, and he left. Right, because we just shared an Uber together. I got back to where I was staying, which was my girlfriend's house, and she and her parents weren't there. Her and her parents weren't there. They were out at their property. So I was there by myself, and the entire Uber ride, I just apparently spent the whole thing just talking about Hugh Jackman and how much I love Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. Hugh Jackman, come on the podcast,
Hey,
please.
Hugh Jackman, please, I love you, please.
We'll get you a beer.
God, I spent hours just throwing up in the bath, in the shower, in the toilet, in a bucket, in bed. The next day, I was hungover until, I was hungover the entire day, and then some the day after.
Damn.
And so I came home, I got an Uber, like a $70 Uber home. My parents were in the backyard by the fire. I come in, just fucking looking terrible, like I've been fucking in the war.
Yep.
And the first thing my mum says when I go in the backyard to greet them is, we're going to get you to pee in a jar. They were going to get me to do a pee test because that's how fucked I looked. And then my mum's just fucking having, it's not a playful, a serious go at me because she was convinced I was on drugs. Eventually, after having a 10-minute, 15-minute conversation, my mum goes inside, just me and my dad in the backyard. My dad's over by the barbecue, which is around the corner. My dad calls me around the corner, and he goes, mate, just tell me what they gave you. Just tell me what drugs you're on. And I'm like, I'm not on drugs. I'm just really hungover. I promise. They didn't give me anything. And my dad's just like, you can tell me, it's all right. And I'm just like, I am on being honest. And I think that's when my dad believed me.
Wow.
Because if I had taken drugs, I think my dad is probably the person I would tell if I had
Yeah.
a problem, because my mum would just freak out. But my dad would be like, it's all right, just tell me, all right? Just tell me, all right?
I mean, yeah, I'm glad I have that relationship with my parents as well. Like, I'm up to the stage where, we're adults now. Like, I tell, and I have told everything that I've done. And if they would ask me, like, have you done this, have you done that, like, I'll be honest with them. Like,
Yeah, I'm the same with my parents.
well, I mean, it's pretty hard for your parents to fucking ignore the fact that what goes on in your house. Not gonna say anything.
Hey, keep on the DL, man.
Yeah, but it's like, oh shit.
Taylor?
That's really interesting.
No, it's like
screen thinking the whole thing froze for a second. I was like,
for a second there, I thought, well, I forgot what we were talking about. But then I remember
drugs.
how Liam was also talking about all the times that he's probably countless more, but I've only ever thrown up twice in my life after
I
a
witnessed one of
hungover.
them.
And Sam was there for fucking one of them. It was all his fault. The other was, I think,
Nick's
only-
party? Nicholas Hartney?
well, Nick's party. Yeah, only a couple months after turning 18. I remember it quite fluently because I had an almost full bottle of Jim Beam, 700ml, and then and this was back when I didn't realize that you could still wake up hungover. Because I now know that the body usually processes about every hour, right? But I didn't know that. I thought you could just sleep it off and you'll wake up hungover. But I woke up still drunk because obviously I consumed like 20, almost 30 units of alcohol
Fucking
in that one night.
Fuck, how you not dead?
borderline.
I-
Like, alcohol
I
poisoning,
I remember this so vividly, Taylor. We were at Nick's party and we were on the trampoline. Tace was next to you. I was on the other side of you. You were lying down on the trampoline and you just go, Liam, sometimes I feel like you don't like me.
Yikes.
And then I was like, no, I do
breakdown.
like you. I do.
That was just
Everyone hates me.
It was a very interesting time. Whoa, that door open?
Ghost.
hello.
Taylor's actually.
We just see fucking Taylor die on camera.
Is there a murder in the house?
Wait,
I want to tell the story of Taylor throwing up for the second time.
wait, one second.
You just hang on.
Oh, wait for it.
That's actually kind of spooky if, like, Tace is asleep. Oh, what? What if Tace is asleep? Where's he getting the drink from?
The representatives from Heineken rock up to his house. Like,
He'll come
we've
back
been
and be like,
sponsored. They've given him the fucking Heineken.
can we be sponsored by Ghostbusters? Ghostbusters!
I'm telling the story of how you threw up the second time. Alright, I think it was the first time I came to Sydney, I think. Or was it the second time? I don't know.
I think it was
What
the
were we
first time.
drinking?
I remember
Yeah, it
we
might have
had
been.
we did 1 week where we spent. It's like we did everything that a Sydney tourist would want to do. We did it all.
Yeah,
But I
I
think
think
it was
first
the
night.
first night.
Yeah, we were shotting like vodka, some sort of vodka.
It was a buffalo grass vodka.
Yeah.
But it
Oh,
had
I think
buffalo
that's
grass.
one of the most pissed I've ever been. I can't
Is
remember
that-
how many
is-
shots we had.
Is that when the famous scene of you being hit in the head with a TV remote?
Oh,
You're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I can't feel it.
See, I have no recollection of that. I remember, all I remember was we were doing shots, and then I remember passed out in his bathroom, and I would throw up like on his toilet, like on the fucking side of the toilet.
Oh no!
That was the night, and then I remember I was fucking.
Should
thrown
we
up
should
in
we
bed.
show that to the viewers or
Give us a shot in the edit.
Yeah.
can we show that to the viewers, Sam?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
You'll fucking crunch.
I didn't even feel it, King. Do it
You're-
again.
You're
I can't feel it.
you're fucking crunched.
King,
You're fucking fucked.
I'm trunched.
I'll send it to you, Link.
You'll have to send that to me, yeah.
But it's like I don't remember taking that video at all. I don't remember.
I don't remember it either. And the next morning, we were pretty fucking hungover. And then I remember, I think, what did you do? You just took a big sip of water all of a sudden, he's just laying there, and all of a sudden he's just like, so good.
I'm like, man, I gotta drink some water. And this is when we had we had burgers on the way,
Yeah.
and delivering to the house. And I remember you had to answer the door while I was throwing up.
That's right. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, minding my own business. And then I had a sip of water, and then I felt the water just coming back. And then I had to
Your
get
body
up
did
and-
not like that.
Yeah, it's fucking water. What else? Yeah, but that's the only times I've ever thrown up after drinking.
I've thrown up plenty of times.
I don't know why. Like you and me, Liam, you and I, should I say, we have the same reaction of almost anything.
What do you mean?
When it comes, I mean, like, we're quite similar, I'd say. More recently, we had the exact same reaction to the fucking vaccine.
That's true. Yeah.
Exactly the same to a T. But when it came to that, when it comes to drinking, you just throw up a lot.
I mean, we do have completely different body weights. I weigh like 55, 56 kilos, where you're up into like what?
Jesus.
8? Yeah, I'm very skinny. I'm very thin.
What's that supposed to mean, Sam? Jesus.
Yeah, how much do you weigh, Sam?
I'm surprised I weigh 10 kilos more than you.
Well, it's because you're tall.
I'm pretty skinny. Yeah.
I wish I was as tall as you, although I would be I would be so much skinnier.
You have to eat
No.
way more food.
The thing is, with food, I only eat when I'm hungry. If I'm distracted, if
Yeah,
I'm doing
I'm
something,
the same.
yeah. If I'm doing something, I won't eat until like my stomach's like, oh, I'm very hungry. I should eat something. So I think that's what it is, Taylor. Whereas how much do you weigh? Like 70, 80?
Well, the last time I weighed myself was before lockdown, and I weighed 82 kilos.
Exactly. That's
I probably weigh like 78 now.
so much more. So it makes sense that you can drink so much more than I can.
That's because I forced myself to eat so much
Yeah, I don't do
to
that.
get here. Because before I started, I weighed 55 kilos, the same as you.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
fucking rock climb and then gained 30 kilos.
Yeah.
Just like that.
What are your drunk stories, Reese?
My what?
Drunk
Drunk
stories.
stories.
When was the last time you threw up?
Yeah, Reese.
Earlier this year, probably March, I think it was, when I went to karaoke with a bunch of people from work. It wasn't a
Oh,
work outing, but it was like a private work with some of the guys, and yeah, I tipped the guy at karaoke $50 for making a mess in the bathroom. Because
Oh,
I was
Good on you. That's
I wasn't there
manners.
for that.
That's manners.
no, I
Was
was.
I with- Was I there for that?
No, you were invited, but you couldn't make it for some reason. I think you had to. You were called in for an opening shift the next day.
Shit.
But yeah, I remember not. It wasn't something which I knew was happening. I laid down and I was lying down and I got up too quick and got the head spins and my whole world just did a 180 on me.
Yeah.
Like I remember it so much. Like I wasn't destroyed, smashed, but they're just the effect of getting up made me throw up. But I've had so many stories. I cry a lot when I get drunk.
Really? I've never seen you cry when you're drunk.
Mate, well, I've got
He
to
does
be.
it all the fucking time. What are you talking about?
I've got to be
Really?
a certain level of drunk when I'm crying.
You probably don't realize he's crying, but he's all.
I get emotional when I'm drunk, especially
No,
like,
that.
with the people around me.
Yeah, that's fair. There's only happened once to me. I've cried when I was drunk.
Mhm.
That's because people thought I was stupid.
No, man, not the case, mate.
You're
Sam.
stupid, mate.
Drunk stories.
When's the last time you threw up?
Last time I threw up.
I honestly can't even remember what topic we had that. Was it? Have you ever caught someone jerking off? How did that get us to here?
Tangent.
Who knows, but it's great. I can't remember the last time I threw up. It was probably sometime I was just fucking drinking by myself in my room. As sad as that is.
How heavy do you have to drink by yourself to just throw up?
I remember I was like, I was trying to acquire a taste for bourbon. So I was just like shotting whiskey.
Oh
I remember
god, no.
I got so sick, I was throwing up the next morning. I could not, like, probably for like the next month, I just couldn't even smell it. I just wanted to throw up.
That's terrible.
Same with beer. I tried to acquire a taste for it, and I just can't. It tastes like shit.
It's interesting though how everyone's like taste buds. It's like, I don't like spirits at all, but I feel like my dislike for spirits stems from my experimental time with it when I was like 18, 19, 20, and getting drunk from it and throwing up because of it. Has now made me taste it and not want to drink it.
Yeah.
Like my mum says that she's the same with certain spirits. She can't have it because it reminds her of a bad experience. But I think that a lot of the times I've thrown up are specifically from like doing something you shouldn't do when you're drunk, like being too active, or like the last time I threw up, I laid down and I got up too quickly. Like something so simple, but it threw my head into spins. A lot of the time, I find that if I'm dancing around or jumping around or doing something like that when I'm drunk, it makes me want to throw up. It's like if I'm just sitting there peacefully, just drinking like I am now, I could probably punch through 100, and exaggeration, but I could punch through a lot and not feel it apart from the effects.
Yeah.
But it's like I have to physically do something, which will bring on the effect of like wanting to throw up. So Sam, next time you're drinking heavy, get up and fucking start jumping around and dancing and acting stupid. I'm
Fucking
sure you
spinning
will
yourself.
want to throw up.
All that
I'm sure
alcohol just sloshing around in your stomach.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't even want to think about it.
That's my
I've got a
problem.
pretty strong stomach.
Oh.
I want to go right now just thinking about it.
The more I get drunk, the more I want to get up and dance. It's like, it's not. I shouldn't do that though.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that I've seen too much. Like, my stomach is so strong now, and I'm so numb to fucking everything now because all the fucking shit I've seen.
I've seen some stuff.
He's seen some stuff,
Man,
mate.
I've seen it all. I've fucking every single bodily fluid I've had to fucking clean up. I've seen punch-ons. I've seen needles. I've seen a guy die. I've seen prostitution rings.
What? Hang on. Let's take a step back. Let's take a step back. Excuse me?
Yeah, I saw someone die.
Do you want to explain that?
It was never confirmed though, but I'm pretty sure he died. It was I rocked up to work one day in Liverpool, and
I'm getting a headache.
there was someone. You okay?
No, yeah, I'm just getting a headache. I think it's because of my lights.
Okay. Well, I rock up to work one day, and there's a guy just passed out in the back alley of the venue. And he's just absolutely still, just like that.
I
And
can't believe we're laughing at this.
I'm smiling.
This guy
You know-
died.
He's dead.
there was a needle still in him, and
Oh my god.
he had OD'd, overdosed.
Yeah, I think you've
Uh,
told me this story before.
So we had to call an ambulance, and they took him away. So I never got to find out if he died or not. But I mean, like, he looked pretty fucking dead.
He looked dead.
he looked pretty dead.
Oh my god, this motherfucker dead.
Yeah,
Team,
dude.
when we return from lockdown, he walks into the pub and you're just like,
It's
Oh,
Jesus
this guy.
reborn.
but he's like clean now. He's like full on rebuilt his life, and you're just like, mate, I thought you fucking died.
I haven't seen that guy since. In fact,
Yeah.
I only ever saw him. I don't recognize him. I don't
Well,
think I've
wait,
ever seen him
what?
before.
Yeah.
But because
He
he's
could be
dead.
alive. Who knows? Although he looked pretty dead. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, but at least when it comes to like looking at stuff, you know how when people watch YouTube videos or something, they look at something and they're like, no, turn it off, I'm gonna be sick. Like, that doesn't happen to me. Like,
Yeah, it's desensitization. You're
I have
desensitized
such
to it.
a
Yeah.
strong stomach to it.
It definitely, I think, with like social media and that these days, and movies especially, it's become such a sort of more common like impact on us that we are desensitized towards certain things. But there's still so many things, like all those Facebook videos that go viral of these really cruel things happening. I can't watch them. Even though I could see the exact same thing in a film, and I'll hang out, but when seeing it in like a real life thing, nah, I'm away from that shit. I've never even seen it.
Turn it off, I'm gonna be sick.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I can't say it.
Again, it's not like my denial that this shit happens in the world. It's like I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Alright. Let's find
What's-
a topic. We've only got 4 subjects left of the 12. We might as well
Wow.
push through them. Let's ask the really, really strange one. You're wandering through a forest at night. You come across a cliff face with an entrance to a cave. You hear a quiet voice of a girl calling for help. What do you do?
Fucking run.
Fucking elaborate story. So I'm okay. All right. I'm coming up to a cliff face.
Nighttime in the forest. Why you're there?
Nighttime.
Don't know.
Why the fuck am I there? All right, but I'm obviously shitting myself because it's nighttime and I'm in the forest, and I see a cave entrance, and I hear. What do you say, a
hear?
little girl?
Yeah, a girl's voice. Help me, help. Obviously, it sounds more
Well-
feminine and attractive.
Sounded pretty attractive to me, Liam.
Cool.
But if I heard a little girl, I mean, I know it's a big movie trope where they fucking bait you in by using a little girl's voice, but how often do you think that would happen in real life? What do you think they just keep little girls around to bait people in? I don't think it's very realistic. Like, I would consider helping out. I mean, like, I'm in the forest in the middle of the night. There's a fucking cave entrance. I would probably seek that anyway for shelter, and if I could help a little girl in the process, then I probably would. But I'd be very cautious, and I'd be shitting myself the whole time. Maybe I'll just fucking jiu-jitsu them if I get a chance.
Taylor just comes into the cave and just be like, whoa,
Still fucking flying armbar.
ciao.
Like, I don't know. What would you guys do?
I would just turn around and walk the opposite direction. And once I got back to like a like a road, I would call the police.
There's a fucking little kid screaming for help.
I didn't say they
You're
were
in the middle of
screaming.
forest.
Also, I never said they were a little. I just said a girl.
Well, still, there's someone in need of help, and like, how do you
Well-
know where the nearest road is?
I'm picturing like I'm in the forest and I come across a cliff face and there's this cave entrance. When I say cave entrance, I'm picturing like the game The Forest. There's just a slit in the wall and you have to like shimmy your way through it to get in. And if I hear a voice coming from inside that says, "Help!" I'm gonna turn around. I'm not gonna go in, because why do they need help? Are there other people? I'm not gonna be able to take other people on if I'm just by myself.
Well, it could just have a broken ankle or something.
Okay.
Well, or maybe I guess in movies they would hear a girl, calling for help and be like, "All right, time to investigate." Then they go straight into the cave.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be that
baby trap.
one white guy who's like, "Oh, I gotta help. I'm gonna run in head first
Yeah. Well, maybe I'd stand at the end of the cave and
and
ask
call
questions.
back." Yeah, that's it.
But,
I
mean,
like that idea.
Would you walk away? You'd feel like, oh shit, mate, I've just left someone in that cave who fucking needs my help, and
Well, it's not like I'm leaving them indefinitely. I'm leaving them in seek of help.
yeah. But I guess it's like, do you really believe that it could be a trap? I mean, like, how realistic
Yes.
is that? There's a whole bunch of people in that cave ready to bounce you. Like, it's not common. Like, you're in the middle of a forest. Like, how often do you think the foot traffic is that you're going to be catching people with the help of a little girl asking for help?
Cannibals.
Like- Cannibals.
Yep.
Like, it doesn't seem likely.
Did you know?
You-
Sam, what do you think?
I don't know.
All right, Taylor. You know the movie, The Hills Have Eyes, based on like, it's a story about this cannibalistic family that lure people in and eat them. It's based on a true story. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah,
Haven't heard of it.
it was like this family of cannibals. They actually lived in a cave, and they would eat people, and they were also incestuous. If that's a word.
Good stuff.
But yeah,
Right.
As from a previous question, we've now said that is totally okay. Just kidding.
I think a very
I just
yeah.
I love Sam's face right now. Just
I would.
we're almost
I would-
done.
I think I would. 2 victims are worse than one. Because imagine if something happens to me, then nobody else is going to know that we're both there.
Yeah.
Now, not to say that there has to be somebody else in the cave causing some problem or some fucking demon or something like that, but what if this slipped and fell? And what if I walk in there to help out and I slip and fall on the same fucking thing and then I'm out cold? So then there's two people stuck. So I would walk back, I'd call the police, and then go there so that at least people know where I'm going and are able to help if something happens. Because
You're in the middle of the forest. How do you know you're going to get reception?
I'll walk back to wherever Liam said I last got reception, whether that's back at the car 4 kilometers away. I'll do it. Just to at least so that other
They could be
people
too
know.
late. The kid could be dead.
Well, then at least
could be
we'll be able
bleeding
to
out.
find their body and have closure to whatever happened. Then
You could have saved him. They probably just had like a
prevented
rock on top of their ankle or something. and just needed you to lift it.
I also could have died. I don't know. That's my mentality. Is that yes, somebody else is to help, but would I rather also possibly something happen to me and nobody find us, or possibly one life die but at least find her? I don't know.
Yeah, I get you.
So
Sick.
essentially, if one of the boys are trapped in the cave,
You're not
and
helping.
it's just me coming out to find you, I'm not saving you until I have someone else to come with me.
If it was one of the boys and I knew it was one of the boys, I'd go in with that question.
So if it's some stranger calling for help, fuck him. But if it's one of the boys, you're like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, because I can trust the
Are you one
boys.
of the boys? No.
No. Get out of here.
Fuck this guy.
I can't
fuck
trust
outta
a
here.
stranger.
That's a skit idea. We should do that.
You know,
Just
one
go
of the boys.
up to walk and you just hear a help. You're like, you one of the boys?
Nah.
So yeah.
Alright,
I'm a,
catch
no, I'm a girl.
women.
So we're doing that.
Alright, Sam, what do you think? What would you do?
I think I'd go in.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
nice.
Brave.
Nice. Just you and me, we're both brave, obviously.
I feel like if you leave and get the help and then you come back and it's too late, I feel like you would just feel so guilty. You could have done something.
Yeah,
I'd
no,
stay with you.
that's a fair point.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah?
Fucking idiots.
At the same time, I don't want to fucking die, so I don't like any answer.
Maybe from the cave, just yell out. You got any proof that she's not gonna kill me, or what would they have?
Alright. Cheers to that. We only got a couple more questions to go.
Fucking cheers to
I
that,
got no
fellas.
alcohol.
That's alright. Cheers in spirit. Let's end it on something interesting.
Something juicy.
Glitches in the Matrix. Do you guys know what glitches in the Matrix are?
Yeah, I've seen the movie, so I know what you're talking
It's got
about.
nothing to do with the movie, actually. Sam, what do you know what's going on?
Not really.
So things that you see in real life that just make you think that can't be real. This has to be like a simulation sort of situation, like the Matrix. That's just too crazy to be a coincidence. Say, for example, Taylor and Reese had a couple that happened in a row where they just happened to be talking about me on Discord, and unprompted, I just happened to join the Discord call at the exact same time that they said my name. Multiple times. Because if it happened once, oh yeah, that's just a funny coincidence. But it happened multiple times in a row.
Damn.
It's like you guys have all seen the fucking Truman Show, haven't you?
That's a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, it's like, how do I know that I'm not sitting here and you three are a bunch of fucking actors?
Because if I was an actor, they wouldn't cast me to be so fucking dumb.
Well, how do you know that? That maybe they cast you dumb to be fucking relatable. Well, how do you not know, as you, the viewer, are not actually just a part of the Truman Show, and we're all actors pretending to be, fucking podcast vloggers. You know?
On another note, hey, I'm drinking
Relax
this great drink, Bundaberg and Cola. You can buy it. It's quite cheap from any good local liquor store.
Wow.
We're
Wow.
also partially sponsored by Razor Krakens, because 3 of the boys have them.
Yeah.
So Razor, sponsor us, please. I'm also using a Razor keyboard, Razor
I'm
mouse.
using a Razer mouse.
Yes.
Same.
I'm not.
Thanks, Reese, for getting me the
I don't
mouse.
even know. Oh, Logitech.
Alright, that's a better way of wording the question. What makes you think that you could be in like a Truman Show situation?
God, apart from the many times that you've just fucking showed up when we've been talking about you.
And
Just makes
I'm
me
now
feel-
hosting this podcast, apparently.
hosting.
I think it happens a lot when you're thinking of something, and that thing just happens to become.
Yeah, I found that
situation.
in high school. In high school, if I thought about a certain subject often, like for a couple of days, someone would eventually ask me about that specific subject unprompted. That was weird.
It happens a lot with me in like movies or TV shows where, or words even, like I'll hear of a specific word that I've never heard of before and I'll take note of it because I've never heard of it before and I'm like, okay, interesting. Or a date or an event or an actor or a scene of a movie. But all of a sudden it becomes like an everyday thing where I'll hear that, like the next thing I watch, I'll see that actor that I only just learnt existed, or then I learnt their name, or I'll hear a word which I've never heard used before in my life, and I'm just like, it's weird how I didn't know that existed until just now or just yesterday, but now all of a sudden it's so prominent, and then I see it again and again. It makes me wonder, it's like, does that only happen because you'd never picked up on it before, and for some reason when you did pick up on it, you just took more note of it than you usually would? And so going forward, you think that you've never seen it before until you learnt of it, but you actually did. It's just because you weren't paying attention. I don't know.
There's a lot of other situations where I remember you telling me this one, but it's like you listen to a song that you haven't heard in so long. And it's gone so long without hearing this song. You finally hear it again. You're like, "Fuck yeah, this is a good song." And then you go out tomorrow and you hear it playing in the shopping center,
Yeah.
or some shit like that, and you're like, "What the fuck?" I
Just
just
like weird coincidences.
Yeah.
I remember that happened to us. This happened to my family. Back when we used to live when we lived in Pakenham, knew our next door neighbors. We're like friends with our next door neighbor. And then after we moved away, we moved to like, like another suburb, or like, like a decent amount. It wasn't when it's like we stayed in the same suburb. We moved to a different suburb, and then I don't know how much later this was. Our fucking next door neighbor, a previous next door neighbor from our old house, rocked up to our new house just by sheer coincidence, and they just rocked up and they're like, I think they're like, "Oh, can you tell us where like this is? I'm trying to take my son to."
No way.
Yeah, it was like crazy as fuck. He like rocked up and I'm like, "Fuck, we used to live next to you guys. What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Just a sheer coincidence. Like, what are the odds of that happening?
That's weird. That's kind of stalkerish.
I think
Yeah.
there's a word for it. It's called synchronicity.
Hmm.
I'm not going to go into it. We'll look it up. But there's cases of it all the time. It's like, it was described to me in a documentary I watched on Netflix where, and I'm not really a conspiracist or anything for this sort of shit, but it's interesting, and I like putting, at least having a word to put to situations like these, where it's when coincidence becomes too much to be coincidence. It's like when things are just too like indescribable to be coincidence, or things are too weird, they describe it as synchronicity. Anyway, look it up. It's interesting. It's even just, if you don't believe in it, it's still interesting to read just to see the weird connections between seemingly random events.
Yeah, it's only like a coincidence, as we call it that. Like it's, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like less of a coincidence for it to not happen at all. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
100%.
All right.
Well, do you fellas want to wrap it up there?
I suppose so. We'll have a last cheers to that. We'll take a last little sip. And then
Cheers. Thanks, Sam.
Thank yous.
good cheers to the
Alright.
boys.
Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.
Oh, what am I doing? Hang on. Let's
I
go
don't
again.
Do we wave? Do we do a
Two. Anything. 3, 2, 1. See you next time.
Sam didn't do anything.